group, man. It's a huge honor, and I am. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm thanking God every morning.
I don't really care where I get chosen, where I get picked. I just know wherever I go at, they're going to get the best out of me. I'm going to come out there, compete, work hard each and every day to show them why I'm the best.
I actually didn't ask for the times. Whenever I ran them, I ran off field. So if it felt good, I'll go back to the coach and ask him, did it look good?
What do you want to hit?
I'm trying to hit the lowest ever, so 4.22 or lower.
You know, a lot of people don't really know how fast I'm going to run. So, I mean, Thursday, I'm just going to shock the world.
Right now, I have a great opportunity, regardless of where I go. And I have opportunities to live out childhood dreams. So being drafted in the first round would just be the cherry on top.
Oh, I think this is one of the best groups since Odell group. I think we're talented across the board. I think we check a lot of boxes. I think this class is going to do great things. It's definitely going to be a legendary class.
CeeDee Lamb projected to go in the first round of a draft that is deep at wide receiver. Steve Smith wrote about a group of instant impact receivers that you might be able to find after round one, and you can read more about that on NFL.com. In the meantime, one of the two receivers who went in the first round last year is with Willie.
Brady in the gun. Edelman now motions to the left as Brady takes the snap. Backs up, looking left. Back shoulder fade for Harry in the end zone. Caught it! Touchdown! Patriots! Beautiful throw. Terrific catch for his first career score. N'Keal Harry.
You find out what the rookie can do. We saw this in training camp. We saw it in the preseason. He's got the size to do the back shoulder catch, and it is a strike from the 42-year-old to the backside shoulder of number 15 to get him his first touchdown.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is N'Keal Harry, first-round draft pick receiver for the New England Patriots. N'Keal, first season in the books. How's it feel, brother?
It's good, man. Just trying to get my body back, resting, recovering, just working on the things I need to work on for next season and just getting ready.
Talk about getting your body back and recovering and all those different things. You spent the first 9 weeks on IR. What do you need to do in your second season going forward that you didn't do in your first year?
You know, just really focusing on everything as far as getting my body right, getting in the film room, you know, just making sure I'm doing everything I can do to just be a true pro and just really make sure that I'm taking advantage of the opportunity that I have.
The big question coming out of Foxborough is the quarterback situation. Can you see anybody else throwing you the football outside of Tom Brady?
You know, at my position, I just have to be ready regardless of who it is, whether it's Tom or somebody else. So, you know, I just have to make sure I'm getting my technique right, getting my footwork right in the offseason, just making sure I'm ready for whoever is dishing the ball out.
Okay, it's Combine, too. It's this week. Everybody's talking about how deep the wide receiver class is. What advice do you have for some of these young wide receivers that are going to go to the Combine, perform, and have high expectations?
Just relax, you know, enjoy the moment, have fun. That's a moment of that, you know, they've been dreaming of their whole life. So just enjoy the moment, relax out there, take a deep breath, and, you know, just do your thing. They've been doing it their whole life, so it's nothing new.
Well, we look forward to watching you this season, play all 16 games going into the postseason because I'm a Patriot, and I like to see you guys do good. Appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you, N'Keal.
Big week in Indianapolis, and not just for the draft prospects. The NFL is also hosting the Women's Careers in Football Forum at the Combine. It's the fourth year that they've done that, and since the event started, over 80 women have gotten jobs in football operations. Tuesday featured a panel moderated by our MJ Acosta and featured Bills owner Kim Pagula and Bucks owner Darcy Glazer-Kasowitz, giving valuable advice to the attendees.
Diversity is really a core value at the Buccaneers, and the ultimate goal is to pick the best, smartest person. So in order to do that, really, you need to select from a complete pool of people, and a complete pool of people is men and women, right. You know? So really, our goal is to have our pool of candidates reflect an equal group of people, because that way we're going to make the best choice.
We have a lot of women in our, we call it on the football area, that are not coaches. They're trainers, they're sports performance, they're everything from, they're equipment not manager, but they work in our equipment department. So there is so many opportunities. I don't think we talk about all that enough. And I think there's a lot of good teams that are doing a lot of these things, and we don't shout it from the rooftop, which I think we need to a little more.
Workout that Joe Burrow confirmed today he will not be participating in. The Heisman Trophy winning quarterback choosing not to throw or work out in Indy, but he will meet with teams. According to Bengals head coach Zach Taylor, they'll meet with him on Wednesday morning, and Burrow says he will go there if they draft him.
Joe, just to get this out of the way, if the Bengals select you at number 1, would you happily report to go play for them?
Yeah, I'm not going to not play. I'm a ball player. Whoever picks me, I'm going to go show up.
Do you have any reservations about playing for the Cincinnati Bengals?
I'll play for whoever drafts me. You know, I'm just not going to be presumptuous about, you know, what they want to do. It's the draft. You guys have been covering it for a long time. You never know what's going to happen.
That is probably a good attitude considering the X factor that is Tua Tagovailoa's health in this draft. The Alabama quarterback who dislocated his hip in November already met with the Bengals last night and gave us a couple of key dates to put on our calendar moving forward. March 9th, when he expects to be cleared by his doctors, and April 9th, when he intends to hold a pro day.
This rehab process has been it's been gradually getting, upped as far as workouts with what we've been doing. So just strengthening all the parts around the hip, the glute, the hamstring, the quad, just being able to be ready that once March 9th hits and we're cleared to go, then I'll be able to do everything.
Well, if true, that could make things interesting at the top. According to Next Gen Stats, powered by AWS, Tua and Burrow are two of the best quarterbacks to come out in a while. Two of just 5 in the last 5 drafts that have earned production scores of 99 in the Next Gen evaluation system, which looks at college stats, Pro Football Focus data, combine data. And the guys that grade well aren't always the highest profile guys. Dak Prescott, for instance, got a 99 and went in the 4th round in 2016, so they were onto something there. Time will tell if they're right about these two guys, but they seem to be getting pretty good reviews. Yeah. David Carr, I know you've looked at a lot of tape of both of them. You have both of them in your top 2 in the draft?
Yeah, for sure. And this is not a knock on Joe Burrow and who he is as a player, but he was surrounded by a lot of good talent. He played a perfect system. It was a perfect storm for Joe Burrow. Tua also in a very similar system, very good teammates around him, but he's just more dynamic. So if we take the word of the doctors that he says he's going to be ready in March, ready to throw in April, everything that I see on film is Tua is a far superior quarterback. He does all the things that Joe does from the pocket, vision down the field, intermediate throws to deep throws are spot on. He understands where guys are moving in the defensive secondary. He knows when to throw it. He also knows when to use his eyes. He also knows when to buy time. He literally has the entire package minus the hip injury that's kind of hanging up where no one knows. He's able to run RPOs. He's able to run these nuanced stuff that is kind of making its way into the NFL. He'll be completely fine with that. But then he does things that are special. This is a free runner in his face, makes the guy miss, moves up the field. A la Russell Wilson. We see Russell Wilson do stuff like that all the time. He does it not just to run. He does it to look down the field to make big throws like Patrick Mahomes and some of these guys. So if he's healthy and you look at the two guys, it's Tua all the way for me, but I understand.
At 1 for the Bengals.
At number 1. But I understand the hip thing. And that's the thing that we just don't know as we sit here. He's saying he's going to be fine, but do we really know that? It's going to have to be checked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And if Tua is ready or not ready, you got to make sure you got a veteran there so he's not rushed to go in and start.
Far superior. That's a strong statement.
Far superior.
Athletically, he just is.
The fact that Burrow's not working out, is that a good call for him?
Yeah, I went into the same situation. I had a pretty good feeling that the Houston Texans were going to take me. I went to the Combine, and I didn't really have a plan to throw. There was really no upside to it. Ended up talking to Charlie, and he's like, just go out there and throw. We just want to see you compete. I pretty much knew it was going to happen. Joe pretty much knows what's going to happen for the most part. Cincinnati's probably going to take him. There's really no upside to it. I mean, at this point, he probably could go out there and throw it. It wouldn't really hurt him. But that's the only thing you can do is be negative. Because I went out and threw the ball, and I didn't feel like I threw my best. I was kind of like, well, I don't really know who these guys are.
Did you regret the decision?
I did. I remember walking back into the tunnel. I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I throw to these guys? I don't even know who these guys are.
Because you're a competitor and you wanted to compete.
Exactly. And so at the end of it, it didn't really matter. And they ended up taking me, which is probably the case for Joe. But there isn't really upside when you're already at the number 1 spot. It's really difficult.
In the last 5 years, all the top quarterbacks have performed at the combine, except for Sam Darnold and Kyler Murray. And this year, Joe Burrow and who else? Tua's not going to do it because of injury. So I would say, like, if you're trying to weigh in if a guy's going to be great in the NFL because he works out the combine, and you're definitely going to see him into that. When it comes to Joe Burrow, I would say this. If you look at the tape, every single throw you need to know about or see, turn on his tape. You don't have to see it at the combine. Turn on his tape. He did it in pressure situations. He did it on the biggest stages against the best teams in college football, against the best defenses. He has nothing to prove about what he can do as a player. It's just the little check marks that I'm sure that they want to check off.
Plus, as David can tell you, if you wait till your pro day, you can run a 38-yard, 40-yard.
That's right, downhill, one direction, and hop right
with
over
the wind,
fence
right?
and leave.
With the wind.
Sorry, guys, I ran it.
Have your friends mark it off very casually.
Good job, Eric Mankey, shout out.
Daniel Jones worked out at the combine last year. It worked out pretty well for him. Giants taking him off the board at 6. He was the second quarterback taken. He went on to throw 24 touchdowns in 12 games. So while new head coach for the Giants, Joe Judge, has been vague about committing to him next year, it stands to reason that they don't need a quarterback, which makes this statement from Dave Gettleman today potentially interesting for the teams that do.
Well, absolutely.